Yo, welcome to the B&B Show season finale. My name's Brady, and this is Brian, and this is Cooper from episode 11, and this is Balin from episode 4, and this is Soap from episode 7. We can't get Nate on today, so no guy from episode 9. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Nate?
Boo-hoo.
No.
I know, it's a tragedy. All right, so I got a question. I've been saving it for a couple episodes. So, all right.
Alright.
Here's a scenario. I gotta set it out. So, you are a small actor, okay? You're just getting into the biz, all right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you finally get an offer, right? This is gonna be the next Breaking Bad, and you have this is long term, and this is a great. You're with a whole bunch of famous people. It's gonna be a guaranteed bop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play a gay guy. What are you guys doing?
Do the thing. You're an actor, so you act like the person.
Um.
So you're definitely doing it.
Yeah, of course.
My first thought is like Aaron from The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
because he's actually really good character. I think he's a really good character, and as long as it's not like taking over my personality, I think I'm chilling. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think
Uh,
so. I think I would decline the role.
You would decline it?
Yeah.
Why?
I guess because you're gonna be known as the gay guy from
Yeah.
from
And it
Blank.
goes against a lot of.
You
stuff.
really care that much?
Yeah,
I
I'm not
don't
gonna,
know.
What
I'm
other
not
people-
gonna I'm not gonna compromise on my beliefs just for like money, you know?
Okay,
Uh-huh.
but it's like an acting gig. The whole point of being an actor, is that you play
Yeah.
someone that you are not.
Yeah, you're
Right.
not actually gay. I understand that. I don't,
So it
if
doesn't
I
really
no,
matter, right?
I feel like if I have a boyfriend and I'm like actively kissing men on the show, that might make it a little
Ooh.
more difficult. You see what I mean?
Oh, like
Because
that.
like if I just have to play a gay guy and like
Yeah.
act gay, yeah, cool. But if I have to actually have actions, then I feel like it's a little different. So current like I don't know personally. I just wanted to hear your guys' stance on it. Like
Yeah.
like Aaron from The Walking Dead. Guess who else he plays? Red Skull, dude. Aaron from The Walking Dead plays Red Skull. I would have never thought that, dude. So I don't know.
I
Well-
mean, I don't think that like TV shows are as popular as movies. Like those actors are not nearly as famous as movie actors, right? So
Okay.
even if it is like the next Breaking Bad, like what are those actors doing right now from from Breaking Bad, right? Like what's the guy who plays Walter White? What is he doing right now?
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
I saw him in a commercial. I think he's doing a new show. Hold on, I'll look it up right now. Here,
Yeah, I think he's a pretty big
continue on your
actor.
thought. Like, continue.
Oh no, my point was just gonna be like, I don't think that like acting gay for just like a show that's gonna be big and famous, and then hoping that you get cash out of that. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea,
Dude,
especially
apparently
if
he's
it goes
gonna
against
be
what I have.
in the Uncharted movie.
The Uncharted
Tom
movie,
Holland?
Yeah, with Tom Holland and Marky Mark.
Mark
Mark.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
Huh.
What are your
And he was
thoughts
just on another
Cooper?
show called Cooper's silent. I don't even think Cooper's here. Oh, there he is.
I feel like it depends what entails in the role of playing the gay actor, because you have to think, if I'm straight up like kissing guys and making out with them, then it's a definite no. But if
So
it's
you
just
just
like
wanna act gay
acting,
for a
and
little
also it depends on the cash. How much bank am I making off of this job?
Okay. I don't think that's I don't know. I feel like for me, even if it was for a lot of money, I don't think I would do it, just because I feel like it goes against my beliefs. So,
Uh-huh.
you know,
See, I'm
I
not
don't think
alone in
that's
this.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think any
No,
amount of
I
money.
also agree. Like, if I have to kiss men, I'm not gonna do it. If I have to suck a dick, I'm gonna.
I
pass.
don't think you have
Alright.
to do that, to be honest. But
But if I
I
just have
know,
to act
so-
gay for a little bit, I'm cool. I'm fine with that. You know. just if
Mhm.
I have to act on it, because yeah, it goes against my beliefs also. But I
Well,
definitely understand your point for sure. So, like, are you a Christian, Soap, or are you what
no.
are you? No, atheist, or
Yeah, I don't really care.
you don't really
I don't really
you really
believe in
care?
anything, to be
Agreed,
honest.
agreed.
I
Okay,
believe in
no, I
everything and
understand.
anything. I'm open for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Alright,
an
man.
agnostic then.
Is that what
Yeah,
that's
I
called?
guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Because yeah,
Yeah, I don't really
some
care.
people are just like it's just not important. It's like not your focus right now.
No, but why would I worry what happens after I die? Because
I don't know if that's the best
Wait,
best
wait,
way
wait.
to
I want
put
to
it.
hear. I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Go
well,
on. Go on.
because then I'm gonna think about my all that I'm gonna do in my life is just think about death, and then yeah.
Oh,
What
okay.
if you just live life and then
That's a good
I
point. But like, yeah. No, that is a really good point because you cannot live life thinking about death. Because then what's the point of living?
yeah, and I'm not scared of death because
I
I
feel that for
always
sure. It's just I feel like okay, so an argument Christians have is all right. Well, if we're wrong and there's no God and we just die, we just go into dirt and nothing matters, right?
Mhm.
But
yeah.
if you guys are wrong, you guys are gonna burn in hell forever. So I feel like that argument applies here. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay,
Like,
but I don't I so the Christian thing is if you don't believe in God, you go to hell.
I mean, it's more specific than that, but yeah, that's like the
yeah, you
general
got,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but isn't that like for every other religion? And why is God the only one that is the right religion, right? So it could be every religion, and I'm open for everything. I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I could
Oh yeah.
believe in God, but I don't know, So why would I care? Because I have no way of knowing. So yeah, you
All
don't
right.
know because you can't you
Well,
just
people talked about it when I
believe.
was younger. I used to be like really into that stuff, and like I know for a fact that I used to pray and actually hear God's voice. And a lot of people feel that some people like hear Him, some people see Him, or usually kids actually see like angels. And you could point that back to imagination and stuff, of course. It's just I think it's just because of purity and how they haven't been exposed to as much.
Yeah, I would agree with
Well,
that.
I have no idea. So I'll
And
see.
so okay, so you are like you've no clue, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I actually really love this conversation. So, like, I this is a mature, nice conversation, man. But do you think?
Okay.
Do you think like no God is possible? And if no God is possible, can you explain to me how you think we were created?
Uh, okay. I think God could be possible, but I don't really. God is not possible, but if he is here, then it doesn't really matter, right? So it doesn't matter if he's possible or not. Because if he's here, yeah, he's here. Like, what is the thing?
Okay.
And like if we're made from science and like evolution and shit, I kind of believe in that, like the
You think so?
evolution theory. But if someone says to me, oh, God is real and here's proof, then I'll believe in God. I don't really care. And if God sends me to hell for not praying to him every Sunday, then he's a real asshole, you know.
Um, funny
Um.
dude, man. Okay, there's this book. I brought this up in a previous episode too. I would really love for you to read it, but I understand your stance that you don't really care. So if you
Hmm.
choose not to, don't get me wrong. But if you ever are interested in the topic, right before um, we move on, a book called I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. If
Yeah,
you had the
that
chance to
sounds like
read
me.
that, that's not yeah. Yeah, if you had the chance to read that book, I would really love you to and hear the person's points cuz I don't want you to go into it like, You know, like when I read that book, I always tried to read it as in like a neutral standpoint. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, God's real for sure when I read this, because that's gonna taint how I perceive
Mm-hmm.
what I read. And I don't want to read it like an atheist, you know, and like, oh God, because
Mm-hmm.
I want this truly like neutral standpoint. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you are that truly neutral standpoint. So I would love
Mm-hmm.
for you to read this book. It's called "I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist." If you do, great. Love to hear thoughts on it. But if not, I'm just suggestions out there. Do you have any like? What about you guys?
I
I've been talking a lot.
I would actually give another book recommendation if you're open to that. There's so in the US we have like these big like newspapers, right? And there's this one newspaper called the LA Times, and there's this guy who would write for it called Lee Strobel, right? So Lee Strobel was like a hardcore atheist. He absolutely hated the idea of God. And so one day his wife came home absolutely crying, and she's like, Lee, I'm a Christian now, right? And this dude got so upset that he literally went out and he's like, I'm literally gonna prove God wrong here, right? Like I'm just gonna like destroy the entire argument. So he goes out and he makes this long, I think like 10-month investigation trying to figure out the purpose of God, and more specifically trying to figure out if Christ was real, right? Because the idea of Christianity is that Jesus died for our sins, and because he died for our sins, we are now able to have that relationship with him to go into heaven, right? That's the whole idea behind heaven and hell, is like because we have severed that relationship with the original sin, we're destined for hell. And so like the idea of Christianity is fundamentally on the cross. If Jesus did not come back to life, if he did not die on the cross, Christianity is useless. And so I would strongly recommend this book because it actually has some hard evidence that I
What's
think
it
that
called
you would
again?
enjoy. It's called The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel.
Oh, I've heard of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't read it personally. Have you read I Don't Have Enough Faith to Become an Atheist or whatever?
I've been meaning to. I saw it in my bookstore the other day. And I was like, I
Oh
should
yeah?
read that, but
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't pick
actually
it
like
up.
my favorite biblical book. Like I was always really interested in it, which I hate books. So,
Mhm.
Brian and Cooper, do you guys have any like thoughts on the topic?
Not really. I mean, y'all kind of said everything that I was thinking about.
Cooper?
If we're on the topic of religion, I must point to the one, the only Mormon Church, if you've heard of that.
I do not
Okay.
support the Mormon
Okay,
Church.
I don't. Are
nobody
you a
does.
Mormon, Cooper?
No, I am not, but
Okay, all right.
I find the story incredibly entertaining.
Have you
It
seen the
is
South Park
really funny,
episode?
but like
Of
it's a
course I've
lot of
seen it.
spiritual abuse.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It is so. It really is so weird. I just rewatched that episode like a couple days ago too, because I've been going back to like my favorite South Park episodes, you know, just for the fun of it since season 25 is coming out.
Yeah.
But what are you, Cooper? I don't think I've ever asked you.
I don't have a religion,
You're like so.
frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Seth. I truly do not
Everything I
care.
said to you, I'm saying to you now. All right. I
No,
just
Okay.
read
okay.
both of you guys heard the same thing come out of our mouths.
Okay. But you know the Islam. So why isn't the Islam like the religion that
Okay.
Because
you believe
I can
in?
actually I
Oh,
can answer this one.
so
Okay.
I don't have enough faith to become an atheist. It actually has an entire. So the first half of the book, they narrow down the possibilities of different religions, and it eventually goes to Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, and then they go into an analysis on why it's Christianity and why it can't be the other two. But go ahead, Balin. I just wanted to say that before you.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to mention some of the points that are in that book, if not. But like the problem with Islam for me fundamentally is that whereas Judaism and Christianity have come from the mouth of God and through the prophets, literally all Islam is founded on is just this one dude claiming he like got a vision from God. That is all it is founding on, and he has no evidence to back any of it up. And there's like a lot of things that Muslims believe, specifically with like how they get their 72 virgins,
Yeah,
that are
I always
just
felt like that was weird.
well, yeah, because like we
Okay.
don't know if they're gay or not. You know, like they could be guy virgins, right? Like if you, I don't want to
Uh,
make some jokes that are gonna kick you off YouTube, but like I
YouTube.
mean, you know, I don't want to like finish that joke, but
Hmm.
So
yeah.
he just said he was a prophet. And Jesus, he like cured a bunch of people, right, from disease and like helped them and made a
Yeah,
wine from his
and
blood
there
and
is
all
there
that
is
shit.
actual like historical evidence for that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Pilate and all those people. There are I think it was 32 mentions of Jesus in his in his ministries outside the Bible, just in history in general.
Yeah,
Because
there's like this very
there's
big.
actual proof of Jesus actually existing. So
Yeah,
it's not
Yeah,
like
of
he never,
course.
yeah,
There's
it
like
also
appears
he
in
proof of
was
Roman
religious.
Mohammed
literature.
existing.
Yeah, we're not arguing over those people
Oh, yeah.
existing. We're
We're just
arguing
saying,
whether or
yeah.
not they're telling the truth, right? Like that's the idea behind it. Because if like Jesus really only has like two possibilities, either he's a madman or a liar. And if you look at the evidence, if you look at like the people who followed him, if you look at his ministry and the impact it had, it's more likely that Jesus was who he said he was and that he was the savior of the world than he was either a madman or a liar.
The other two.
I would strongly recommend you read the book that Brady mentioned and the book that I mentioned, just because like I don't think we even stress this hard enough, but like I know you don't care about it, but eventually that will become like the question of your life
Yeah,
because
maybe when you become older, you actually might, like in your old age, you might become more interested in this stuff now that you're approaching death more. You know what I mean? Now, by the
yeah.
way, Cooper and Soap, we are not pressuring you in any way. Believe what you want. I actually really respect both your standpoints. I was just, having a suggestion and talking to you guys about it.
Yeah, and if you guys have books like trying to disprove Christianity, I'd like
Oh,
to read that
I'd
too.
love, yes, yeah, please. I would love to like just hear this viewpoints.
No, but I don't need to disprove Christianity. I don't want to disprove Christianity.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
I
want to
understand.
disprove anything, but like why do I need to believe something if I
You
if
don't.
I
And listen, at the end of the day, so only
Mhm.
your opinion matters. You don't need to listen to us at all.
That's true.
It's just something we would like you to look into because um let's say Christianity is true. I would love to see you in heaven, Soap. Because let's be honest, I'm never gonna meet you. I'm probably never gonna go to the Netherlands. So
No, true.
we'll hang out in heaven, all right? But
But
yeah.
why if you don't believe in Christianity, then you don't go to heaven?
That's
Okay.
not necessarily what it is. It's if
Yeah.
so the only thing you have to do to enter heaven is you simply have to believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and that he's your save and that he's the savior of your life. That is it. There's nothing else you have to do. And the problem for most people is they think that that is too easy for it to be true, and they think that there's some trick up the sleeve, you know. But like that is literally all it takes to go to heaven. It's just believing that like the cost to go to heaven has been paid for. You know, that's why Christians say it's a gift. You can either deny the gift or you can accept it. That's really
Yeah,
all there is to it.
that's interesting, man. Do you think all right,
So
okay, I have a scenario for you, a question. Now this isn't like because I don't know the answer to this. I don't know at all. What if you
Mhm.
believed in all the religions, including
I
Christianity?
yeah, that's
that
what I do.
the problem is
Dude,
that doesn't work because other religions kind of contradict
yeah,
themselves,
they
right?
contradict each other.
So
Well,
like
let's say,
if you believe in like Islam, you cannot believe in Christianity. Like it does not work.
okay, so what if, let's say, all right, you know how that like the Indians have like 1,000 gods?
Right.
Mhm.
What if you believe in the 1,000 gods, but you also believe that Jesus died for your sins, and they're all just living together? Like you're not, like you ignore the contradictions.
Mhm.
I don't think you'd be a Christian then. I
I was
mean,
just,
Well,
I
because
was
you
just
got to look
wondering.
at what every single one of those gods did, you know? Like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, I believe in Jesus, and then be like, oh, yeah, I also believe in like evolution, right? Like, that still kind of works because you're still
Yes.
fundamentally believing in Jesus. But like, the moment you add gods, like, let's say you believe in like, I don't know, like Zeus or something, right? Where like their teachings directly conflict with Christianity, that's when I think there's a problem, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I think like evolution could still work with Christianity. Like that is plausible.
The Catholic Church adopted evolution. Like according to the Catholic Church, evolution
Oh,
is how
really?
God created the world.
I
There's
had no
like
clue.
they interpret Genesis as a symbolic representation of
Yeah,
evolution.
so if someone proves evolution to be real, which a lot of people claim to, Christianity could still work. It doesn't disprove religion if
Yeah.
evolution does exist. Because, the Big Bang is just a theory at the end of the day, and it's not, fact.
Hmm.
So,
okay. But if the Big Bang is a theory, is Christianity then not also a theory?
There's more evidence for Christianity than there is for Big Bang.
Is that so?
Yeah, I would strongly recommend you to look at the evidence. Like we found like the archaeological dig sites of several of the locations mentioned throughout the Bible, and like we found the Ark, for example. We found I don't know if you've ever heard of the story in the Bible where these guys like march around this town with a trumpet, and then all of a sudden all the walls fall down. And in that story, basically, like the only way they were able to do that is there was this spy who went in, and there was this prostitute named Rehab, and she's like, I'll hide you guys, but like in return you have to like save me, right? The only house in the entire city that was safe was where Rehab would have lived. And so like we have evidence for all of this. It's just like I think at the end of the day, the problem with Christianity is that like God is not susceptible to proofs. You know, like he does not care if you have enough proof, right? No, if you're an atheist or if you don't believe in God, rather, no amount of proof will ever be enough for you. You know, like God could like part the skies and then say like I am here, and you'd be like, damn, that's a weird coincidence. You
Must
know,
have been the winds.
must have been the wind. And like I kid you not, there's been times where that's happened in my own life, you know, where I've been like, oh, I don't know if that's really from God, you know, where I was like, oh, that must be like a coincidence.
I feel
But
that.
like
I feel
if
that
you're a
for sure.
Christian, the evidence is all around you. You know, you don't just see it like in these evidence that are like reported in newspapers. Like you see it like everywhere. You see it with the sun rising, you see it with the trees, you see it with your relationships. The evidence
Like,
is all around.
I look at my damn hands and I'm like, how did an explosion create this complex biology? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're
Like
100%
just
right.
like eyes, dude. Something exploded and now I receive light through my eyes and make an image in my head. Whoa. Whoa. Like I'm not even talking about religion anymore. It's just whoa in general, dude.
Yeah.
But isn't that all that religion is?
What do
Like
you mean?
religion is explaining something you don't understand, right? It's like just like science. I don't know, but we
Okay.
don't
No, no,
understand it, and that's
I
why
think
we
I
believe
understand your point.
something.
I think Christianity is better explained as a relationship because that is 100% what it is. You're trying to develop that relationship with Jesus because, you know, he was the one who died for your sins, right? And on the third day, he rose from the grave. And at the end of the day, like the Bible straight up says in the book of Titus, like, don't argue over the laws of the old, or like basically saying don't argue over religious stuff because it doesn't matter, right? Like it literally doesn't matter. It's like basically the whole point of Christianity is the cross, you know, and Jesus. That is all Christianity is about. And like we can argue like the semantics of it and like what brings it up. And if that helps you believe, like I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, it's really like it's a choice that you have to make. And again, like I feel like we're kind of like arguing for no reason here. But
I don't consider this an argument at all, man. I'm just like, I think this
No,
is just
this
a
is
great
just.
conversation.
I just
Yeah,
want to
dude.
know your
Yeah. So
thoughts.
I
You
want to
know.
hear your thoughts, Soap. This was great, man. But
thoughts.
this is, I feel like this might have dragged on for a little. Cooper and Brian, are you like, were you okay with that? I know you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
kind of
no,
like,
no, it's alright, it's alright, it's all good.
okay.
I got
I must
No,
leave.
like I don't know,
You
like
leave?
you know, I don't have much things to say about that topic because I haven't done my research, but
Uh-huh.
maybe one day.
I
All
got
right.
I got one
We'll
last
see you, Cooper. Thanks for being on.
Oh,
Bye.
See you.
So let's say this is a question for Brady and Brian because they're more in tune like with like what Christianity is. You can also answer if you want, if you have like an idea. So
Mhm.
let's say that you're a gay man, right? Your name is Billy, and one day you meet this amazing guy named Bob, right? So you and Bob, you guys get married. You guys are having the time of your life. You love it. You guys are being all gay and stuff. And then one day you become a Christian, right? And you're reading the Bible and you're reading that passage in Leviticus, and it's like, oh, I can't have sex in the bum
No,
anymore.
no.
That's a
Yeah.
no, right?
Oh.
So, but the Bible also says you shouldn't divorce people. So, as the
Oh.
gay man, do you divorce Billy or Bob, whatever I named him? What do you do?
I think if I'm going from a biblical standpoint, right?
Right.
The it's a contradiction, obviously, right? But I feel
Mhm.
like if I were to
All I
read
need to
something in the
do.
Bible, it would probably be like a Well, a relationship, you can't lie with a man as you lie with a woman, right? That's an
Right.
abomination. That's what the verse is,
Yeah.
right? So I think that could transition over to a marriage with a man is an abomination, and therefore it's okay to get a divorce. Maybe. I don't know. That's never a situation. Go ahead.
Um,
Sorry.
uh,
But okay, all you need to do is accept that Jesus died for your sins.
Yeah.
So why are these rules here?
Oh,
Like, why can't I be gay? What if I
this,
accept the
yeah,
sins and like
that's
have
that's
and
a
be
good
happy?
point, man.
Why can't people be
So
happy?
that's a good point. I've never heard anyone bring that up, man. But I think it is better to live this way. Like you don't have to. Everyone sins, right? But it is better morally to do these things. You know what I mean?
So my answer to this is a little bit different. Uh,
You might have a better answer than me. I don't know. That's just from what
maybe,
I've
I don't
heard.
know. This one's a controversial answer because this is something that does get argued about in the church.
no.
Oh boy.
But essentially, my point of this is like, yeah, all you have to do is say yes to God, but that doesn't mean it's just like a yes and then you go on with your own life, right? Like, you actually, the call to Christ is not a call to just accept, but a call to follow, right? Jesus doesn't say
Oh,
believe; he says, "Come, be fishers of men with me,"
yeah.
right? And so ultimately, those rules that are written out, those aren't meant for non-Christians. They're meant for Christians, right? So if you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself a follower of Christ, it's meant for that. And it's kind of a reflection of like continue.
Go to my church, and he was like, "Well, once you accept Jesus as your savior."
If I married who?
Billy?
I mean, I would try to convert him also, and then obviously part away, and
Okay.
then continue being a Christian after that.
I don't know if I
Okay.
like that word convert. That's
Convert. I
like
mean,
Yeah,
like,
that feels
like,
like a
like
Well,
I'll
cult.
try, I'll
Yeah.
try, like, showing him the way, because I mean, I wouldn't want to be gay after I know that it's a sin, you know.
Yeah. One of you guys, do you guys want to switch couches because it feels a little empty now?
oh yeah, I can do it. Ugh,
Oh,
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 ugh, just gotta. All right, so like
ah,
my answer to this question is I would definitely divorce, but what the Bible says about divorce is like you just can't marry again. And so yeah, I would
oh,
just divorce and then not
yeah.
marry again.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Hey, wait. So what was your? We were talking earlier about how once you become a Christian, then you could do whatever you want because you already accepted. Well, what were
mhm.
you gonna say after that? What was your follow up after our answers?
Well, uh,
hmm
I think those rules. Why? Why are there rules? To be more of a Christian, but
I feel like
those rules
okay. So I
prevent
think
some
everyone's.
people from being happy. So
Uh,
isn't the whole point of Christ to like accept him and be happy? But if that contradicts each other, then
yeah. No, you bring
isn't
up a
that?
valid point. So it's just you bring in some stuff like look at murder, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
so in the Bible, all sins are equal. Okay, which is like a big pill to swallow, especially for me. And if I steal a penny from you, it's like equal to me murdering someone because there's no like karma system like in Buddhism or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If I sin to you, I sin to you, and no matter what that sin is to you, it still happens. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where I was going with that, but I kind of just said that.
As to like the rules thing, like, can you give like a specific rule, and I'll give you like a reason for it?
Okay. Why can't people be gay?
Yeah. So in terms of gayness, that leads to sexual sin, right? And sexual sin is actually a huge thing, especially in the Christian life, because sexual sin is something that can actually draw you away from Christ in the sense that, like, if you're focused, like, I don't know if you struggle with like a porn addiction or anything like that, but it is hard to break out of, you know? And that stuff, that sexual stuff especially, like the Bible doesn't even tell you to like combat it in any way. It says flee from it. It's the only sin that you have to run away from. The Bible doesn't want you anywhere near it because it's so dangerous to your soul, you know? Because like that is the easiest way for you to just like continuously lose faith because sexual pleasure, like it gives you sexual pleasure, right? But at the end of the day, like it's just not something, like it's unholy, you know? It's a sin at the end of the day. And like I
Okay.
guess like the question is like what is a sin, right? And
These are big questions, man.
yeah, no, I should like clarify this. I'm not like a theology major, right? Like I'm an IT
Oh,
dude.
me neither.
So
I'm a dude in high. I'm a sophomore, man. I don't know what I'm. These are just my views I have currently.
yeah, so
No.
like I would strongly recommend finding a pastor to like actually go in depth with these and give you like some
Yeah.
like hard evidence and some verses to back
We are
it up.
not professionals, but if you know a pastor, maybe bring these questions to him, and he might give you better answers. You know,
But
No,
yeah.
these are
true,
just
true. But I
conversations.
feel like even a pastor couldn't answer why. There is no reason.
Then I would love for you to ask a pastor, and I want you to, if you do that, please tell us the answer, because me and Balin, we're just two dudes. You know, we're not professionals. We are also equal. Like we're still going through life too. You
Yeah,
know,
like we
we are
like
still just going through the motions, equal with you. So it's just we have a different standpoint currently.
I think it's a mistake to assume that like me and Brady are like pillars of faith. You know, like when I look at like myself and the people around me, like my faith is nothing compared to theirs, you know? Like I have my doubts a lot. I have my struggles that I go through. And at the end of the day, I can only hope to have like the faith the size of a mustard seed, right? Like that is like a goal for me. I'm nowhere near that. It's a process, you know, like it's a
I
relationship that you
think
have to work on.
it's just you are very like knowledgeable, Balin.
Hmm.
So it just I think it comes naturally with you sometimes.
I would hope
I'm not
so,
gonna
but
like
I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, so.
I always feel like because when Christians they always see like with the rising sun, it's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
God made this. It's so beautiful. But I always when I see like the rising sun, I always think
Science.
like no. I just
Classic
don't think
science.
it's just nice, you know.
Yes. No, yeah, you are definitely that. When I see the sunrise, I do not think of God so, but like I'm not a guy who goes around saying, "Oh, this is all God." I still live equally as you. Is
Okay.
that something to think about for me? Yeah, yeah, but I don't go around constantly thinking about God. I'm not Jesus, man. I'm not a perfect guy. I am still, you know, I still look at boobs soap, you
Mm-hmm.
know? I'm not a perfect dude by
Do a
any
little
means.
squiggly wiggly every now and then.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
true. It's true. You
so
know, it's true.
let's get some input from you, Brian. Let's get some input from you, Brian.
Well, um, I mean, I'm not too informed on the subject. That's why I'm not talking that much.
Mhm.
But you know, because I still want to learn a lot about because you know I still got to read a lot of books, and I don't even read the Bible that much. So I still, you know, I'm just in
I
that
don't
limbo,
either.
and like I just don't have enough proof or enough things to say on
They really get involved in the
yeah.
conversation. Okay. All right. Well, let's switch the subject. I thought that was a great conversation.
I
I
really
really
liked
like
it. It was
hearing
Yeah,
good.
I really
both your
do.
guys' point of view, especially you, Soap, because usually, I talk about Christians about the matter, and you being like, what did you call it, Balin?
What?
Agnostic?
Agnostic, yeah.
I
Okay.
like your
You
hat,
being an
Beetle.
agnostic.
That's not a bad
All
term,
right.
by the way. That just simply means like it could exist or it could not exist. That's all agnostic means.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really liked hearing your point of view. Okay. All right. All right. Have you guys heard of what's it called? Oh, come on. The rat utopia experiment?
The rat, the rat
You gotta tell me about it,
utopia.
and then I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It was a while ago when I wrote this topic down, so I'm gonna search it up really quickly so I don't say any false information. So from what I understand, this guy, um,
Always a guy, you know? It's always a guy.
it's a good point. All right, I'm gonna read. According to a researcher who did most of his work in the 1950s through 1970s, it might include limitless food. Okay, so what this guy did, this is from what I understand before I continue reading. This guy took these mice, right? So mice are very similar to humans biologically,
Mhm.
right? So he took these mice and he put them in this utopia. They have infinite food, infinite water. There can never be any problems.
They kill each other.
And yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they took them to this utopia, and there was like they were like raping each other, and there's murder of like young, and he designed this utopia like a city, and obviously rats have shorter lifetimes, and their evolution almost speeds up faster because they go through more generations faster, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So this guy made this thing, and he basically just speed up the process of what is almost like humans until this crazy just murder fest. And like they like the rats, some of the male rats became like femboys or something.
oh,
And seeing this was done in the 50s, and seeing it now and seeing men, like how like people of the conspiracy theories like soy is making dudes into femboys.
I've heard that. Yeah.
You've heard that? I don't believe that,
No.
really,
That's why
but
we call
that
people
like
soy boys.
Soy boys
oh,
yeah,
is. I think it's just because people who drink soy are pussies.
right?
Well, that's the
Why
theory. It's
would you
like
drink
because soy
soy?
has
Just
so much
drink milk,
estrogen.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiraled out of control, overwhelming, eventual population collapse, seemingly sinister behavior patterns. So yeah, they're put into this thing, and eventually they just spiral out of control, and there's these psychopathic rats just from being in this utopia,
Right.
and it's built like a city. I just thought that was interesting. That was something I wanted to share. I don't know if we could have a full conversation about that. That was just something I watched a video on by Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was not prepared.
None of us
I
are prepared
yeah,
either.
no.
So.
I
Clearly.
think I know why it's the rats, because they have it extremely easy, and then they just do what they
We have it
just
extremely
change.
easy, though.
Yeah, so that's why we have fanboys, and that's why we have things, and that's not
Do you think it
bad.
is a parallel?
But
You think it's like,
yeah, there's always a cycle, and hard
what about the
times
murder, though?
create murder.
You know? Yeah, because the rats are murdering each other. Could that tie into the same thing? I found the video. I'm gonna send it into guest chat, and then I'll say what it is.
Well, murder. I think rats. I think
You
people
could
and
also,
animals. I think we are
yeah,
extremely
morals.
like animals, like a lot. Like animals are
But
just
I
us,
think
but without common sense. And
okay, yeah, I consider we like animals don't have consciousness.
Yeah.
And us having consciousness, and we're like born with morals, like little kids, they know murder is wrong, and it's not something that they were told. It's just common sense, like you said. So, and I feel like rats don't have that, so I definitely understand your point there.
If we're
yeah,
talking about
It's
like
just something that
instincts,
happens to the rats psychologically. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Bill.
if we're talking about like instinct, right? Then it's very like I actually really like this study because like you can easily apply it to the real world. And I think that like instinct is just like the nature and the want to desire to survive, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so when you put rats in a utopia where their instinct is to fight for survival, when their instinct is like they have to fight to survive, like I don't think it was a question that it was eventually going to collapse, because at the end of the day, like if they get used to like all this free food, if they get all used to this like free water and whatnot, they still want to be like there's still like a hierarchy system, like animals still need to be like they need to like dominate each other, right? Like they need some kind of class structure. And unfortunately, I think that humans are a little bit of the same way where we want to like serve each other, not serve each other, but like what's the word?
I got it. I got it. I'm just saying. Be like
We're
I know I'm
pursuing
definitely a
self-interest, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
that's kind of what these rats are doing. And I think it's a little sad because like people are gonna look at this study and just like not think anything of it.
Yeah. Okay, so the YouTube video I watched on it, I also did my own research too, but the Mouse Utopia Experiments Down the Rabbit Hole by Frederick Knudsen, spelled Knudsen. I don't know why it's spelled that way.
Right.
But yeah, that's just the video. If viewers are interested, or if you guys are interested, that's just little video I watched. I watched a video about mental illness, and it was like weirdest mental illnesses. Now in the last episode,
Dang.
I talked about mental illness a lot, so I guess the viewers will already know my previous thoughts on it. But I'm just gonna continue with these other ones. So I gotta search up these words too. Ferguli syndrome. Do you guys know what that is? I'm about to Google it,
Ferguli.
but
No.
No.
Oh wait, I have one more thought on like the rat thing.
yeah,
Because
go
like there's
ahead.
like I don't know if you saw this study too, but there's a study basically seeing like the determination of rats. And so what he did is he filled up this like kind of cylinder glass vase with water, right? And he just put a rat inside and the rat would swim and it would drown, right? So he did this like 3 times and he found that the average rat would survive like roughly 2 minutes, right? This time he did it with another rat, but after the 2-minute mark, like right when the rat was about to drown, he saved the rat, right? Like he would just save it. And what he found is that when he put the rat back in again, instead of like just swimming for 2 minutes, it survived up to 15 minutes before it eventually drowned, right? And it's really interesting to me because like not only does it like kind of show the determination, but it shows like the power of hope and what hope can do to
Yes.
something or someone rather. And so I think that also kind of plays into the little rat utopia story, and just like the self-serving interest kind of way. But yeah, that was like my
Okay.
last thought on that.
That's really cool, Bill. Okay. So in the last episode, I talked about Capras syndrome, and that's when you think people around you aren't real. Hence hence the one thing. There's also Truman syndrome,
Oh,
and
the Truman Show.
that's when and when people think stuff around them isn't real. It sounds like some Brian would say. Right? And that mental illness actually didn't exist until that movie came out. I'm just pointing that out. But the one I brought up, it's called Ferguli syndrome. I said it wrong. Ferguli syndrome is the delusional belief that one or more familiar persons, usually persecutors, following the patient repeatedly change their appearance. So I think everyone around me is the same person, just changing how they look.
But
yeah,
how are we?
I would describe that as a mental illness. Yeah, I think that's
That's definitely a mental illness. And so apparently it came from a story. And what happened was this guy, he asked out a girl, okay, and the girl was like, no, right, definitely not. I'm not going out with you. But then another girl, asked him out, and he was like, well, you're just the other girl in a costume. And he started to have these tendencies more and more often. I just thought that was kind of weird. Like, why would you think that? I can get like the replace thing, but yeah, you guys go on, because I don't really have too much of a thought on it.
I'm not sure I fully understand this like mental illness. So it's
Yeah.
the idea that like these
Oh.
people are following you and they're simply changing their appearance to make it like to deceive you.
Yes, yeah.
I have no idea what to add on that, dude. It's a mental
Yeah.
illness. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just crazy talking.
I mean, I don't think it's quite as crazy as like the Truman theory or the other one that you mentioned. I
We
think
live in a
that
I
one.
think
well, we live in a simulation. We live in a
I
simulation.
think
right?
the living in a simulation is way more is actually
Viable.
like
They live.
very like there's a infinite like how would we know if we live in a simulation?
I was talking about this with Brian and Nate the other day. Actually, we went into more of an in-depth analysis, and I don't know. I could totally see not as being in a simulation, like plugged into the Matrix.
Right.
I could see me not even existing at all. I'm not even in that tube. like I'm just a circuit board.
Yeah, you're just an AI. I'm just an AI.
Yeah. So the way they
Better than
test AIs, right, is they make the AIs think they're real. So we could just be programmed to think that we're real.
Coming
But
from
what
a
is real?
Okay. Let me just say this: like coming from a background of not only religious background, but actually like someone who's studying IT currently. Like I'm about to get my BA in the summer. I can tell you right now, simulation theory has a 0% chance of actually being real. There's simply no way of it happening.
Bro,
How? Tell me.
Go ahead.
Tell me.
Well,
Why not?
Why not? Okay, well, let's start with the biggest. Like, what would be your biggest support there? Like, what do you think is the biggest like reason simulation theory would be real?
we just
Okay.
live in a simulation.
Imagine us. Okay, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years,
Mhm.
20 years ago, we didn't even have like now you have an iPhone. You know, in the 1960s they used a computer like 200 times worse than your phone to go to the moon, bro.
Mhm.
And now we just have that in our pocket. Like in like 100 years we'll be making like the metaverse. In like 100 years we are going to be making another matrix, and we don't even know that we're gonna it of course there's an infinite chance of us being in a simulation. It doesn't there's always a chance. Like
The chance is incredibly low. Because here's the thing: the biggest mistake of a programmer, if you're making an AI, if you want an AI to be kind of like what's the word? Like conscious of itself, right? And have that self consciousness. If you have that is the biggest mistake you can do. Because if you want a prisoner to stay imprisoned, the one thing you want to let them do is not let them know that they're imprisoned. The fact that we know about simulation theory and the fact that we're even discussing it is proof in of itself that we cannot be in it, because our creators would have never allowed us to even discuss the possibility of it. Because if you have the possibility of it, there's the possibility of breaking out of it. Because there's always bugs in every single program.
Brian's gonna say like
We
that's
just
just what they want us to think.
That's what they want us to think, like.
But you can say that about literally anything.
yeah,
and
that's
like
the scary part. You can say that about literally everything, and that's why everything could be fake. Oh,
they want us to not even like they wouldn't even let us fathom
Yeah.
the possibility of it, is what Bailon's saying.
I think
Yeah.
we are in a cycle. We
That's
could
why
be in
I
a
don't-
cycle that we just keep creating the new matrix for ourselves,
That's
like a
why
matrix in the matrix,
I get
in the
what you're saying.
matrix, in the
Yeah.
matrix.
And it's just looping.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like you were talking about rapid, like us growing,
yeah,
right? Rapid evolution, like
yeah,
technologically. I think that's just because we discovered fast communication, so we can communicate with people across the other side of the globe, just like right now,
Mhm.
and share ideas about it.
Mhm.
You know, because if we lived in the '80s, I would never meet you, Soap, and I would never hear
That's
your point
true.
of view. So these smart people from across the globe, they now have access to talk to each other and build on each other's ideas, and go from there. Hey, you're recording, right, Brian?
Yeah, no, I'm recording.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
mean, going back to like the why our creators wouldn't be able to make us fathom the idea. That's why I also think that there couldn't be a zombie apocalypse, just because if it were to happen, like what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say like we've already thought of the idea, and now I don't think it can happen because we already, like, fuck, like,
No, that's all right, go on.
no, I think it's gonna end there. But I just feel like the zombie apocalypse can't happen because we already know.
We already thought of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we already thought about it.
Okay.
But how are we gonna
that's a good
stop it
point.
if it happens?
Because there's those psychopaths with the doomsday bunkers.
I think a zombie apocalypse could happen, like a bacteria living inside your brain or something.
Like a parasite?
Yeah, a parasite. Yeah, exactly, and it controls you to like eat stuff. Like in The Walking Dead, they don't eat brains; they eat everything.
They eat flesh.
Yeah, flesh. So it could be very likely that like a
I
parasite
understand.
that
Because
spreads.
parasites, parasites don't have a diet, or they have a diet, but they're not picky on what it is.
No.
If a parasite likes meat, it likes meat, right?
Yeah.
So, dinosaurs, right? Carnivores, if they like meat, they like meat. If they're whatever the other one is, the vegetarians, they like plants. They can eat whatever plant they
Mhm.
want, unless it physically hurts them.
Yeah. There's
So-
also parasites that a parasite that you can people can have, but it's not that bad if you
It's a
have
very
it.
advanced
Like
parasite
the cat parasite that mouses
Tapeworm?
get or rats get, and when they get the parasite, they take more risks. They get
Look-
closer to the cat,
Oh
and
yes,
and then
yes.
the parasite tries to get into the body of the cat or something, tries to make it get eaten by the cat, and then it's in the cat, and then it goes on in like a cycle of making its host get eaten and by the other things. And I think we
Yeah,
just
it's not total control though. It's not the parasite completely. It's just
it's
can adjust.
encouraging.
So yes, it's encouraging. So what happens with snakes? They trick snakes, and then the snake gets in the eggs into the eagle, and then the eagle just makes a whole bunch more of them. you
Yeah.
know?
And that's
So-
like, why wouldn't
And
a
that's
zombie
real. That's
apocalypse
not some
happen?
conspiracy
Mhm.
theory that's going to happen in the future. That's happening right now.
Yeah. And if
So-
time is infinite, then a zombie apocalypse is gonna happen. And everything
You
what
say
will
eventually,
happen,
yeah.
everything
If
that
evolution
can happen
eventually.
will happen.
That's just like
I
so
can see.
bizarre to me that I don't understand this logic of thinking. I'll be real with you. I just don't understand it. You know, for someone, I mean, I don't know.
Elaborate. You sound like a dick right now. Go.
I just don't understand that kind of logic. Like, I understand this idea of like, if there's infinite time, then there's also infinite possibilities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we don't actually know that. Do we really have infinite time if the sun is going to explode in like 4 million years or so?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think like
That's true.
Okay,
also.
but time still goes on.
yeah, but
without
like
us.
what you're saying is like a zombie apocalypse will happen. Like if
No, Balin.
I'm not understanding.
Our sun explodes. There's gonna be another Earth
There's
eventually,
a
right?
trillion
And then-
billion universes out there
That's
with
crazy, bro.
another trillion billion suns. You know how
We're so small, bro.
you
Like,
know
It may not happen
there are-
on our Earth. Is
you
what
know-
he's saying. It may happen on another one.
you know why I'm not Christian? Because I just can't believe that out of all those planets and things that there only is us. I just can't believe that. And even if
Well, that's just
if you're
because
a
God
Christian,
intended it to be that way. And
Yeah.
there could be aliens. Maybe he did make alien life.
yeah. That's
That's
back in the
actually
day.
like that's a super interesting topic because like that's actually what I think is the one thing that would break my faith is if we found self-conscious intellectual life outside of Earth because that is something that
Why?
is-
I think
that's not in the
aliens
Bible
exist.
at all. Because like I mean like theoretically we could like make the argument that Jesus died for their sins too, but like Jesus makes no mention of that, you know?
Okay,
Like,
Maybe he just goes
But what
planet
if-
to planet.
But what if Jesus is our guy? What if every planet has like a guy,
You know,
and we
because
have
Jesus
Jesus?
is the
maybe
only
he does
son
like
of
a
God.
yearly checkup. He does a yearly checkup, and last time he was here, we killed him, so he's just not coming back.
Yeah.
I think that if there were aliens, we probably would have found them by now. If we're
I
being
don't
real
think
here.
so. I don't
Why do you
think
not
so.
think so?
Okay, the
Why haven't
the
we
only
thought of space
planets we
travel
have
yet?
visited is like we've only visited
The
the moon, and that's not even a planet, and we can only
And
take
other
pictures.
Well, we
let's say
visited
there's
Mars, too.
other intellectual.
No.
right?
Only
hit
with like
Mars.
a droid.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
not with a person.
Why would
Let's
a
say there's
person be
other
more
intelligent
like?
life.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I was talking
How-
about as people.
Okay, so we're intelligent life, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't really gone anywhere yet, correct?
Right.
yeah.
So these other planets out there are in the same situation
Yeah.
as us.
Why would they leave? Why would they find us?
You know,
Maybe.
I don't know if you guys have
And,
ever heard of this.
Balin, in the Bible, right? God doesn't tell us everything because we're in the same universe. So like, I don't think there's any mention of every animal. It's not written down, right? Or maybe
Right.
it was, but that book didn't make it into the final cut, right?
I think
So,
that aliens.
Maybe they
if we
just
do find
didn't
aliens,
care to mention that part.
yeah, if
Yeah.
we do find aliens, it would probably be in the form of an angel. But Okay. I think the biggest problem that I have with the idea of aliens, right, is that like if we had, I can't get this past that. I can't get past the thought that like if we haven't found aliens, that means that we are the best. Like we're the number one universe right now. We are the best. We got the best stuff going for us, right? And like that scares me, you know, because if
What?
Maybe it's a whole bunch of
humans
dumber.
are the most advanced species to have ever lived,
Mhm.
and we're looking at the state of affairs right now, we can't agree on anything. We can't agree on protocols for COVID. We can't agree on relationships
Maybe,
with other
yeah.
nations.
Maybe
That
the other
scares
planets
me.
blew themselves up already.
You know, there's something called the Fermi Paradox, and that's basically the idea of trying to explain why we haven't found aliens yet. I don't remember all the reasons they have. If you want to look it up, actually, it's called the
I'm
Fermi
looking it
Paradox.
up
Yeah,
right now.
Fermi
How do you
Paradox.
spell it?
Fermi and then
Okay.
paradox.
But I think you're thinking of aliens wrong. Aliens is just an unknown organism. So
Right.
if you're if
Using
if
that
we just
definition, though, there's aliens for sure.
yeah,
Because there's 100% like single cell organisms like everywhere. My problem with aliens would be self-conscious aliens.
Intelligent life.
Yes, intelligence life.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
us humans. Okay, but what if you found like a rabbit on like a
If
planet
I found a
exactly
space
like
dog, I
That
wouldn't
like
means
be shocked.
literally nothing to me. If
No?
we
Yeah.
found like a rabbit, I would just be like, "Wow, that's great."
okay, but did God
It's just the
did
scare of
God
intelligent
create the
life, though.
animals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that rabbit come there, and why doesn't that scare you? Because that's not in the Bible, right? So how is that
Okay,
like
it's
different
like
from a
this.
human?
'Cause-
Okay, well, let me clarify my stance on this because I don't think that's
No, wait, let me read this on the Fermi Paradox
right.
real quick before you go into that. The Fermi Paradox is the conflict between the lack of clear, obvious evidence for existential life and various high estimates of their existence. As of a 2015 article put it, if life is so easy, someone from somewhere must have come calling by now.
Okay. Let me explain
Go
my
ahead.
stance because I feel like I misrepresented it. My fundamental problem with Christianity would be if there's sorry, someone was knocking at my door. It's the idea that Jesus died for those things too, right? Like, and I feel like if it's a rabbit, I don't really care because a rabbit's not going to go to heaven, right? Because a
Jesus
rabbit,
didn't die for the rabbit.
right? The rabbit can't make the conscious choice to accept Jesus Christ as his savior, and so I wouldn't care if it's a rabbit, but if it's like an intelligent life, and the fact that it can like actually make that conscious decision of accepting
language
it, like I'd be
and stuff.
like I would like be like, yeah, yo, alien dude, this dude died for your sins, like you should believe in Jesus. I would still do that, but I admittedly would have a hard time accepting it because there's like no mention of that, you know, like I think here's okay. Man is created
There's a
in
lot we
God's
don't
image,
know.
right? Man is created in God's
Yeah.
image. And if there's alien life, then that means that and that it's intelligent life where it can talk and speak like us. That means that that verse is simply not true. And it would be a
Okay.
contradiction to the Bible.
Maybe okay. All right, you see, there's different. If you wanna take that verse, right? It's maybe there's other humans out there. Okay,
Mhm.
for one, they may still look like us, but they might have changed they changed their appearance just from the conditions they were in, and or that is a metaphor for they're made in our image because they're intelligent like us. I don't know if that made any sense, but
Right. But at the same time, like okay, when you look at Revelation, right? Like kind of like the
listen,
end
Bailey,
chapter.
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
lot we don't know. Okay,
Okay, that's
there's a
fair.
lot we don't know, but go ahead, continue.
But like God's straight up going to create a new heaven and a new earth, and that pretty much in essence means the destruction of the entire universe. And that means that God is killing perfectly intelligible life that was
But
made
why
in
is that the
his image
destruction? Why is that the
because
destruction?
because this world is full of sin. This universe is full of sin. And to get rid of
So
it,
he made
is
another
pretty much-
one.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend reading the book of Revelation for this
Okay,
one.
but you
to explain this better.
you have 2 children,
Yeah.
and you kill the other one because he's not good enough.
No.
Because no, that's sin. So God would be sinning.
God
If
can't
he-
sin.
No, because God is perfectly okay. It's
You know?
God. Like, okay, even like removing the idea of religious boundaries out of here, God is the one who owns everything, right? Even if Christianity doesn't exist and there's a God, right? Let's just put Christianity out of the
Mhm.
window for a second.
Mhm.
Who are you to disrupt what God thinks? You know, if God decides to wipe away your house, who cares? It's God. You know, like he's the one who created everything. So like, I don't think it would be a sin because it's like God's like, I don't want to have this kid. Boom, knock him out, right? Like Christianity is different because it offers that redemption. You know, it's very hard for me to kind of like explain the idea of Christianity without going to like a huge sermon right now.
Hey, I have two things to I have two input. Okay,
Yeah,
so
please do, please do.
one, soap, right?
Mhm.
There also might just not be any aliens out there. We're making the assumption right now that there's aliens and how it plays into it. It is also just likely that he just made us and that's it. That is not an impossible thing. But we're just putting ourselves in the situation that there is something. Now, what Balin was saying with or what you were saying actually, you said if you have two kids and one wasn't good enough and you kill it. All right.
Mhm.
I feel like that comes with moral things. Is in the Bible all the time. God tells people to kill wicked people. Right. God kills wicked people all the time. He didn't he like struck Herod with lightning or something. Right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he did a
So
lot of things.
think about like the Punisher from Marvel. Okay. So the
Mhm.
Punisher is a dude. Right. And he kills a
Yeah,
lot of
I know
people.
him.
Okay. But he only kills bad people. So.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's that's not he's not a I don't see him as a bad guy because he doesn't kill children. He doesn't kill. It just comes down to morals. He just he kills bad people. He doesn't kill good people. He just doesn't do killing randomly.
To put it super simply, God is perfectly just, which means any amount of sin has to be punished, right? But he's also perfectly merciful, and so he offers a way out through his son Jesus Christ. That is the essential message of the gospel.
Hey Brian, how's your day?
I'm having a good
Brian,
day.
Brian, how you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good. You know, the B&B show
Co-host.
goes into some,
We discuss the
topics.
things people are not
Yeah,
wanting to talk
you know,
about. You know, we
and
take risks.
Minecraft,
Oh,
we
I
like
like
the
to
whole
talk
original
about
idea.
it.
I like talking about it too. It's been a good discussion.
Wow.
I like thinking that everything is nothing. Like everything is meaningless,
And if you're perfectly
and that's
okay
why I
with that,
enjoy
bro,
it.
then keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, man. Like I'm not, keep soap. You do you, man. You just
Everything is meaningless, and
sometimes
that's
you
why I
could.
can do what I want.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that for sure, man. It's just we're saying, if
Our
you do
thoughts.
want an opinion on this stuff eventually, then we're just having a like an educated discussion about it. If you want to like educate yourself, or I'm not saying you're uneducated, but if you want to educate yourself more on Christianity, because as of right now,
Mhm.
my understanding is that your understanding on Christianity is not that much. I'm not saying you're
No,
stupid or
I'm not very. I was in a Christian primary school, but they didn't teach
okay,
us a
all right.
lot.
It's just all we're saying. I was just saying that if you ever wanted to educate yourself on the subject, then go you, man, go you. I feel like Nate would be great for this conversation because if, as of my understanding, Nate believes in God and he believes in Christianity, but he is not a Christian, and that always,
What?
yeah, dude,
Yo,
I'm
you
being
gotta give.
dead
I
serious.
wanna hear his opinion then.
He's
I
gonna
tried
go.
talking to him.
He just wants to go to hell, man. Let him be.
That's
He knows God is there, and he's doing the middle finger in his face. Like,
that's so funny, dude.
who are you to say these things?
That's
really
right.
fun.
That's right. That's so true.
Yeah,
And I kind of
we gotta
agree.
have
Why
another
not?
episode with Nate, man. Yeah, like with Balin specifically, because I know Balin's gonna interrogate the shit out
Yeah,
of Nate.
I
we
get
have
very
like these.
passionate sometimes. And I know
Yeah,
I'm not
which is
perfect, so I
which
apologize.
isn't a bad thing. Hey, so you're not offended in any way, right? Like we aren't like
No, no.
okay,
Okay,
all
good.
right. I'm just
I didn't
making
want to
sure.
like Yeah.
Because I
same
have
here.
loved it. This has been like my favorite conversation out of the entire B&B show right now. So
Yeah.
I'm
Episode
just
15
making
was
sure
good.
that it's more enjoyable for certain people than it is for others. You know about coral pink penis shrinking in Africa?
That is a fantastic
What?
transition.
So coral penis shrinking is yeah, I put a curse on you and now your penis is shrinking, and
No.
It's
psychologically
already happened,
the
Brian.
penis will actually shrink since the person psychologically believes it. One. And two, they believe that the only way
Placebo.
to stop the coral penis shrinking is to murder the person who put the curse on you. So
That's
Yeah, you
great.
guys should have a fight to the death real quick. Because you basically just cursed Brian to have a small dick for the rest of his life.
Brian, I didn't put any voodoo magic on you, all right?
Wow.
I promise.
I
I
had some
did.
friend that
Oh,
In
you
chat.
did?
did
Oh.
like some witchcraft. I forgot manifesting or whatever. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called, but I was like, what the fuck?
I saw
Um,
this video the other day about this like black pastor. He's not a good pastor, I'll tell you that right now. But what he does is he does these like exorcisms, right? And so he brings out
Oh,
this lady. I might have showed you this, Brian, but he brings
yeah.
out this lady and he's like this lady has been raped by a devil, right? And like he basically did I hold on, let me find the link for this cuz it's like it's some fascinating
I'll put it in the
stuff.
description if our
Oh,
viewers want
yes.
to see
Thank
it.
you.
And while
But
we
yeah,
wait
no,
for, okay, go on.
it's totally fake. I don't know why he's doing this because like it's not even like good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Going into
basically,
that, yeah, go ahead.
basically, it's just like I don't even know how to describe it. This guy's just trying to make money off of people. He's spiritually abusing people. You know, people who might actually be suffering.
Yeah, that's so sad.
He's
That's so
just
messed up. Because I think what happens a lot of the time with Christians is they get taken advantage of all the time just because they see Jesus on the front. You know,
that's yeah,
like
100%.
I think there's a South Park episode about this. I don't know which one. I'll try to look for it later. It might be up on the screen right now. I don't know. But basically, what happens is Cartman he sees that there's a huge market for Christian music, so he makes terrible music, but it says Jesus or so he took like normal love songs but just replaced her with like Jesus, and he was like, yeah, this is a real song, and he like got really famous off of that, and I feel that for sure because sometimes with Christian things, it's lower quality but it's considered good because it says
That's what that's what like
God.
really bothers me
Yeah,
is Christians have this really bad habit of instead of trying to create our own culture, trying to mimic the pop culture. And what
yeah.
ends up happening is it just like it takes away from the actual like art that people designed. Like if like Superman's popular, right? Then the church will end up doing something be like Jesus is my superhero. And like
Yeah,
it's terrible. You know, it
yeah,
doesn't
it's
help
really cringe.
anybody and it's cringy, yeah. So I wish that Christians would focus more on like their own cult. That's why I actually like. I don't. Have you ever seen The Chosen, or at least heard of it?
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's. I like that because they're creating their own culture. You know, like they're not streaming that on like a major public network. They're creating their own network and streaming it there, and I really enjoy that idea. Yeah,
But
hold
Yeah,
on.
is it
that,
like
that's good, man.
Yep,
all of Western culture just based on Christian culture? Christian culture is Western culture. But when the the Industrial Revolution made it so people like became less Christian.
that's an interesting point.
Like America is all it's America is all Christian, all
Is
based of Christian
is Christianity
Christian.
not as popular in the Netherlands? I don't live in the Netherlands.
Oh, it's like the main thing,
So
and Islam now because we have a lot
okay.
of immigrants.
That's
So
super
South
funny.
Park or not South Park, America
What is
was
funny that
was
immigrants?
was
That like
founded.
Islam is becoming more popular because I would have never assumed the Netherlands would have Islam as a popular religion.
No,
So
because we have a lot of Turks and Moroccans here.
Mm.
so America, right? It's built on the idea of freedom of religion, but
Yeah,
it also was created with Christian benefits. Like the people who actually made
yeah,
or created America it was created under Christian, but there's no law like the First Amendment is freedom of religion. So no one's forcing you to become Christian. You can still worship whatever you want. It's just I guess it was created by those people, so it is still dominant.
I don't know if I'd like agree with that honestly, because like if it was a Christian nation, I don't really like it when people say like America is a Christian nation. I think it was
It
like I
is.
agree that it was founded with Christian values in mind, but if it was a Christian nation, then like we would be following every single teaching of the Bible, you know. And I think that's fundamentally obviously not true. I mean, like you still see,
And that's bad. I wouldn't want that.
yeah. I mean, I don't
Like
think it's bad,
Iran.
but like, yeah, I don't think it's bad personally, but like obviously for someone like you, like I can see how that would like suck, you know. And if you're not a Christian in a Christian nation, then that
Just
would not be ideal for you.
forcing people to be Christians
Yeah, that's
is
what it
not
would
Christian.
be. Yeah,
Well, that's like the
Jesus
history of
said,
Christianity is forcing people to be
which
Christian,
is
right?
bad, and we need to stray away from
forcing.
it.
Yeah, I don't think people can really. I don't think anyone can ever force somebody to be a Christian.
Well, it definitely happened.
Can you give an example? 'Cause I'm just curious.
What about the
Okay, so
Crusades?
you know the
Freedom,
Italians and everything. Um, you, all the South America. Those
Uh-huh.
are also all Christians. You know why? Because the Spanish and the Portuguese came into America, came into other countries. They went to fucking Israel.
Right.
They went to pillage their cities. They went to pillage everything on like the I don't know what it's called in English, but they
Mm-hmm.
went to the Pope said like, hey, if you do this, you can keep everything you pillage, and all your sins will be forgiven. So they went down to Israel, went down to Jerusalem, and
Mm-hmm.
they just pillaged it like 7 times. They did it, and
Oh, I.
just because their
Why
sins
did you
will
do that?
would
Why
be
did you?
forgiven
Yeah,
with a
I'm not
bunch of
even.
people, and
I'm
then
not
they
gonna
they
defend
they
that.
eat they eat the children. They burn
That's a good
they
part,
burn
man.
their houses. They do everything. They're I think
Yeah, that's
Christian history is just very hypocrite.
Yeah.
And
there is a lot of wicked people in Christian history. I agree, but that
like
doesn't affect who I am now. If
you
that
could
changes
buy
your
your
stance on
sins
things,
away.
Okay. Whoa. Hold. Pause there. That is a huge point. I was gonna make this. I'm
The
not gonna
Catholic
defend.
Church.
Yeah, that's the Catholic Church. The fact that they think that the only person who has
Yeah, and
authority to get rid of your sins is
yeah,
Jesus. No
yeah,
one
I
else
know.
can do that. So like that's what I would say. I'm not defending what they did. What they did was horrible, and I don't think you can ever share the gospel without making a connection or a friendship first, because that's not how it works. So
No,
I'm not even going to defend it. I'm not going to defend Christian history because I think that
purgatory and how people in the like the Roman Catholic Church would scam people by saying, "Hey, you give me all this money, and I get your dead relative out of purgatory and into heaven."
yeah, that's just
yeah,
evil. That's spiritual abuse.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
but like I think the Pope in like history, the Pope is just
Bad.
the church. I think
Yeah.
the Christianity is a good thing, but the church is like a money making scheme.
Listen. So I followed the Bible in the Bible only.
True.
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 I follow. Listen. I don't. I well, if you do ever become a Christian, I wouldn't just don't buy
No,
into that
I
stuff. You are
won't. I
smart,
won't. I
really.
won't buy into those bullshit Pope things, though.
Yeah,
I won't
I
be killing people
I
because
take
they're
my
not Christian.
Yeah,
I
that's
take
fundamentally like
what I
just a
know from the
stupid.
Bible and the Bible only.
Yep.
Is what I'm trying to say. I can go into more, but I think that gets the point across. Trying to get off the subject of Christianity, man.
Yeah.
I
Have
love
you
it
guys?
though.
Yeah, no, it definitely is super interesting. So if we want to go back to the voodoo coral penis shrinking, have you guys
Yeah,
heard of
let's go back to
changeling?
that. Let's talk about Brian's coral shrinking penis.
Bro,
You
Or
guys heard of
you're
changelings?
praying on my downfall, man. I know it. I know it. You're
This happens
praying.
closer to where soap is, but changelings is the belief that your child has been kidnapped by a
mhm,
fairy and replaced
Oh,
with a little fairy demon that looks like your
mhm.
child.
That's so true, though.
Yeah, no, I would believe that.
And this
Yeah,
was
I
this was
wouldn't
big.
believe that.
People
I would
believe this.
just raise my child like a normal person and make sure it isn't like it doesn't become a dick instead of
Oh,
being a psychopath about it.
what
Like raise your
happened
children.
is these people genuinely don't believe that these are these kids anymore. So they torture
Hmm?
these kids, and they have
Oh
no
no.
like parental feelings towards the child because they're like, oh, it's just a fairy, you know.
Right.
Oh
So
no.
they literally torture. They take him to a witch doctor, and they like make him sit outside in the cold for multiple nights. And obviously, the child dies. And apparently, how the tale goes is then the fairies bring back the kid. But you know,
I don't
okay.
think that happens.
Changeling in
Yeah.
European, a deformed embellic offspring, or fairies or elves substituted by them, surreptic. I don't know that word for human infant. According to a legend, the adopted human children are given to the devil for use of strength and fairy stock. I didn't hear that before. There's a whole video on this too. Let me
You
find
just
that.
love your theories, huh?
They're not theories. It's just
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah.
No, but those poor kids.
Yeah, they like put over a fire, and if the fire or if the kid cries, it's a changeling.
That's kind of how it was for like the witch Salem trials too. Is like
Yeah.
they like if you like came, it was the stupidest thing because like they would take these witches or sorry women, and they would like tie them up and they'd throw them in a lake, and if they came back up, it was a witch, and so they just killed them. But if they didn't come back up, it was a normal woman, and that woman just drowned. So it's
No,
like
but
there's no justice there.
Yeah, there's
no,
no
but
that's a
it's just
lose-lose.
people who don't understand things trying to understand things.
Yeah, retards. Oh,
They
by the
I
all
think
way,
it's like a fight for power, dude. I think people have such a huge problem with like power dynamics and just wanting to be in control of everything.
yeah,
And I
and
think
that's
that's why
true.
it happens.
the episode of South Park where he becomes a Christian artist, it's Christian Rock Hard, season 7, episode 9. Just by the way for viewers
Okay.
or if you guys if you want to watch that. I'll put it
Oh,
in the
the
chat
guy
right
who
now.
does like the fake spiritual healing. I DM'd the name of it to you, Brady.
Oh, did you? All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the link in the description.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
What?
go watch his
There's gonna be a lot of
videos.
stuff in the description.
And while you're down there, join our Discord. We want to meet some of you.
Plug. Brian doesn't say anything. Comes back with the plug.
The plug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian,
No.
give us like a topic real quick.
Give
Give
us
us
a
something
topic.
to talk about. Something that you're passionate about. Where is your passion? Where does it lie?
Hold on, let me go into my notes app.
Oh my god.
Bro, no way.
While he's doing that, have you guys heard Travis Scott named his kid Wolf Webster?
Cool name, man. It sounds like a superhero teenager.
Wolf Webster. Why would you name
Wolf
him and
Webster
like
got
Kylie Jenner?
bitten by a baby wolf, turned
Yeah.
into Wolf Boy.
Let's name our first kid Stormy and our second kid Wolf Webster. What?
The Webster Dictionary.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Well,
Wolf
Yeah.
Webster.
okay, so
Did you hear
I've
about the
never-
lady who? Hold on, Brian. Did
Yeah.
you hear about the lady who named her kid Vagina, her male son Vagina, to go against gender norms?
I
That
did.
kid's just gonna be bullied. That's so stupid.
Just like Lana Rose's child.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god, bro, I feel so bad for him.
I feel he has to look like an absolute like mega chad in like 4th grade in order to survive.
Yeah.
Like how is he gonna live? I already know if he has an iPhone, he's gonna get some random shit he's gonna get his
Airdrop,
mom on
yeah.
his screen all the time.
Go ahead, Brian.
You don't want to be that child.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I haven't used this topic. Do you think the world will have peace?
Like world
No.
peace? No.
Like everyone
I can't see
hold
it happening.
hands and sing songs.
No.
People are always gonna have views that go against each other. We're having it right now with soap, but in like a mature manner, obviously. But a
Right.
lot of people aren't as mature as us when it comes to these things. So there's always gonna be conflict.
Yeah, because that's what conflict is. It's like a disagreement of opinion. I think the problem is like I don't want to answer this question because I'm just gonna get religious again. So I'm just gonna say yes.
I don't think so because
I don't think so.
Oh well, if you bring in like revelations, then I get you.
No,
man.
well, hold on. I mean, I
I
don't want to go
think-
back there.
Yeah,
but,
we won't. I'm just stating.
I'm just
it
stating.
now.
Yeah. I'm just. Yeah.
I
I
think
feel-
But if we're
opinions
pure-
is what
purely standpoint, opinions are gonna always have confliction.
Yeah.
Opinions is the thing stopping us. That the fact that everybody can be themselves, that everybody can be their own person, is stopping us from having world peace.
Okay.
And that's true.
Okay. I got a non-religious opinion on this now.
Oh
The
boy.
answer is yes. However, it can only be achieved through immense violence, right? The
Oh
only
my
way
God.
peace can ever be achieved is through fascism, bro.
Yeah,
You
that's
got to
true.
get rid of everybody who's not alike. You got to get this one singular group, everyone who agrees, and that's how you do it.
And that's
It's
true.
totally racist, and that's what Hitler was trying to do. And Hitler was an
World
awful
peace.
person for doing
Yeah,
that.
okay, you're right. World peace is
Hitler was
achievable, but
just
you
trying to
don't
get world
want
peace,
world
huh?
peace.
I
No,
guess
Hitler really.
you wouldn't want to get world peace because would have to.
Yeah.
Hitler, if he
The
was the
consequences
leader of the
behind world
world,
peace,
the world peace would be here.
probably.
Well,
But
that's the question of like, does the
without
ends justify the
consequences.
means?
Yes.
Yeah, world peace is a good thing, but world peace is a bad thing.
If you're not on the right group.
Bro, imagine like just like
watched the
having
South Park
blonde
episode,
hair,
actually,
but then you
about
had
this.
brown eyes and not blue eyes.
I
And
have
then-
blue eyes, but I have like brownish hair. No,
Oh.
but it isn't like if you have blonde hair and brown eyes, he immediately
Nah,
hates
I was just
you.
joking. Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
The episode "Me and My Future Self," season 6, episode 16 of
Of what?
South Park.
Oh my! Why is everything South Park?
It's a conversation on do the ends justify the means. So what happens is the parents hire these adults that are pretend to be the kids' future selves. So
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, don't do drugs or you're gonna end up like this guy." And it's just and then there's like poop and stuff on the walls. So preview. Putting you guys
South Park
on
in a
with the South
nutshell.
Park episodes. Have you? Okay, I feel like we might go religious with this, but let's
Nah.
try not to.
Okay.
Dante's Inferno. Have you heard of that?
No.
Dude, there's no way to not go religious with this.
Okay.
What is that?
No.
Just skim over it, say it,
Okay.
and then
You know
Dante's
the
Inferno
yeah.
is
you know the
about this
9 circles of
guy.
hell.
Yeah. You can go on.
Have you heard of the 9 circles of hell? So
Yeah, the worse you are, the deeper you go, right? Or
yes,
so, I don't know.
yeah. And that thing, it's not actual Christianity. It's like fan fiction, and it's so stupid because this. I just want to make fun of it really quick. This guy, his favorite like poet writer is like his guide through this, and it's like fan fiction, and I don't know, I don't remember, we'll call him John, okay? So John is whose favorite person is Jimmy, and he's like, and then Jimmy said I was a great warrior, and it's just stuff like that for the entire book. And in this place that's supposed to be hell, it's like there's like fictional people in there, or not fictional. Well, yes, fictional people too from like stories, like a Humpty Dumpty's down there. Not actually, but like as an example. But then it's people like Zeus is down there or something. And the way it works is really weird because there's like at the top there's sins that like he really likes Caesar or something. So and it's a whole bunch of propaganda from the time that was happening on then. So Zeus is near like the first circle, and he's like ruling over there because he liked Zeus, but he knew Zeus or Caesar was like not a very cool dude. And then there's people who committed harm to other people, right? And so it's like murderers and stuff, and they like push it. Like you guys, I don't know. You guys could look up what happens in each one. But then under that, there's it's people who have commit self-harm. So this is really interesting because people who committed suicides, the each punishment has something to do with what they did in their life. So people who committed suicide, they turn into trees, okay? Because they didn't take care of their body in the previous world, and so they don't get one in the afterlife. So the guy's like walking around in the forest, and he like breaks a tree branch, and like the trees scream. And then there's like dogs and stuff, and then the dogs run through a bush, and the guy's like screaming, but then John's like, "Here, let me put the stuff back on you." Like the guy's limbs didn't just get ripped off. But I just thought that analysis of they don't get a body in this one or whatever is kind of interesting. But then this guy was really anti-Semitic. So like after that, it's like gay people under the murderers and the people committed suicide. So,
Oh,
but whatever. Okay.
poor gays.
The
But
poor
Didn't
I
do
just
anything
wanted,
wrong.
I watched a video on that too by like Wendigoon if you guys are interested in it. But it's interesting, man. It's great.
And under
I really
that,
like Dante's Inferno. I thought like obviously it's like it's literally fan fiction,
It's
but it's like
bullshit, but it's interesting.
it's super interesting because like it's an interpretation of hell. That's essentially what it is, and I thought I really liked it when I didn't read it because I'm not reading that entire book.
Yeah, but you like researched it a little. Okay.
Yeah, I like like some of the ideas.
I like
in
the
it.
concept of it,
Right.
but
It's cool.
it's not based off anything political. Not political, biblical. Obviously, it just guys pick
hell is a
stories.
very wide thing. Like the Christianity is not the only religion to have hell and
Yeah,
heaven.
punishment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
punishment and like good. You have good and bad, and there's always places to go.
All right, we're straying off in a direction
So
right now.
we're going off of it.
No, I was just saying it is
Yeah,
No, I
really
understand. I understand.
Christian.
I think certain people are NPCs, though.
I think you got that from me. I think certain people are also NPCs because Brenda from
don't think you-
Walmart that helps me find Legos is not real. She
Okay,
was, like,
Brian,
Brenda was the
that
nicest
is
person
so
I've ever
mean.
met.
Brenda
because-
from Walmart is
There
not
was
real.
a
Brenda-
Brenda at the Walmart I just went to, and she was very nice to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
but that's
she's an
that
NPC.
Walmart woman. When you leave, imagine how you experience the day, but through her eyes. And then she gets home, puts her jacket on, her annoying kids are screaming at her, and then she's like, she makes a little money. She tries to get food on the table for the children because she gets paid minimum wage, and then nobody's an NPC. Everybody has a very complex
There's some people I just
life
think
and
are
story.
soulless.
That's true.
I feel like
that's
some
true.
people don't
it's
have
outside of my
souls.
render distance.
Okay, whatever. So there's some people where you get to know them. You talk to these people regularly, and I feel like they don't have any emotions.
Oh,
So,
right.
and it's like this person is. I think we had a conversation about this, and Balin just said, "Well, those people are just boring," right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, but you can't be boring. I just
No,
can't
it's
imagine
very
being.
possible to be boring.
No, but how do you think?
Yeah,
How do you think?
I'm gonna DM you a person. So, okay.
Okay.
Don't say
And I
his name
think
out
Okay.
loud.
I think this person is a NPC.
Okay.
Don't say it
I
out
think
loud.
we should
DM
just
it.
call them out. I'll be real with you. I think we should just call them out.
No, we're not doing that.
I think we should. I think we should.
Why?
Because of the incidents that have happened on this show, I think we should call them out.
No. Let's just call him Freddy. Okay,
Friend.
Okay, Freddy.
Freddy. So Freddy,
Freddy.
I don't think
Castro.
Freddy is real. All right.
Okay, but I think those people are not boring. I think they just don't express themselves the
So like
same as us.
sociopaths is
I
Freddy a
think no.
sociopath?
So you think they're
I
more
think-
like reserved and shy?
I think their brain is very active and like thing, but I don't think they just all show everything they are thinking.
So
Yeah,
their
because
brains
I don't think Freddy is shy at all. He doesn't show any signs of being shy.
You
I
don't
just
have to
think-
be shy to not share. I don't know, man.
I get what you're
I
saying.
think
It's
there are
because
definitely
Freddy has
people
never
who
like
think
confided
less.
in me. Like there's some people you just don't tell your secrets, and they don't tell you your secrets. So maybe to other people, Freddy isn't an NPC and not real.
Yeah.
Like I feel but I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's that, or that he just hasn't waken up yet. Because people are NPCs until they wake up. Like I woke up when I was
so
like
true,
11.
bro. That's like
That's true.
Dude, that's exactly what happened in the movie Free Guy. Did you guys ever watch that movie?
Oh no, I never watched
No.
that. with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it coming
literally
to
what
Disney
happens.
Plus? I'll watch it. I'll watch it then, or when it
He just
comes out.
woke up one day. He's like, "Oh, I got emotions now."
Yeah, so I was talking to famous YouTuber Rob on Top. Check him out, and he was like, "Dude, I was just playing video games one day when I was 18, and I just woke up. I was like, man, I'm really alive right now." So I think I was like 11 when that happened, and I just think other people wake up at different times.
Do y'all ever like look in the mirror and think, "Wow, I'm really living in this body right now"?
Yes, that happens all the time.
I've had my moments where I'm just like, do I even exist? Like
Yes.
I'm like I try breaking the fourth wall somehow, and
Right.
so then I'm like, no, I am real in this thing, right? In whatever it is right now, and so I'm like, okay, I'm a conscious being. I've been conscious for a very long time. You
Okay,
know,
but what
I
is
didn't.
consciousness?
I don't. I can't answer that.
Yeah, you see? So,
I think
it's so
consciousness is just the
weird.
awareness of self. That's what I would
Yeah.
describe it as.
I feel like I've been aware of myself since like kindergarten. Like I've never like I didn't wake up like Brady, 7 years later.
Listen,
I
Rob
was
on
like, oh.
Top was 18. All right, I got time. All right.
What about you,
Some people
Balin?
just wake up late, and Ralphie just hasn't woken up yet.
Balin, when do you think you woke up?
I'm gonna get religious again, so I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay.
Well, this is
Um,
this isn't a religious. Obviously, this is all
yeah.
BS. So just
Right.
I think I just woke up, but I don't remember. I was like,
you're like
you
4.
know, when you're like the what happens before you have a memory? Like when you're like a baby, like zero,
Yeah.
like just a little child, you think, but you don't because you don't remember it.
Yeah.
So have you?
We just
What?
don't remember what happened before.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
but
our first memory.
why is that?
I
It's
mean,
so
like,
weird.
scientifically, the
of-
brain doesn't store memories that are useless. You know,
So,
like, what
like
are you gonna
this.
do with the memory of coming out of your mom's womb? Like, what use is that to you?
I
You know?
don't think that's why. I think it's just because your brain hasn't really developed.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
a part of it, but I think like the majority of it is like what the brain defines as useful information.
I don't think, because I have a lot of memories that are not useful at all,
Right.
and I just think, no, to be honest, not really.
I hear myself sticky.
I have a
feet.
lot of cringe memories, like
Oh yeah.
things I cringe at. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh,
You
I
have a
shouldn't have
lot of
said
these
that.
useless
Oh,
memories, but you're more likely to remember a more important memory. Is I think what he's saying.
yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't know. That's like a
whatever.
question for like a neuroscientist.
Yeah, someone who's actually educated on.
Hey, if
and
you're
Get
not-
like
watching the
Ben
B&B
Carson.
show and you're a
Yeah.
neurologist,
Yeah, if you're a
hit us up.
neurologist, you want to talk to some high schoolers and a
And
college
if you're
student,
the Pope and you're watching this,
Yo, if Pope
you
Francis
could,
is watching this, bro,
fuck
I need to
you.
know if he. I
yeah,
need to know.
please explain why gay people go to hell. But I because I don't think they should, because I met gay people. They're nice people.
Oh yeah, no, they are. I like gay people.
I wanna. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounded really bad. I don't know why. Yeah, that's so definitely like talk to a pastor about some of your questions just because we are not the right people to ask. We're just dudes.
Mhm.
Okay, this was a
Dudes
really
on the
long
internet.
episode. I think we should stop it. I
Yeah.
like emptied
Stop
out
it.
all of my topics list. Okay. So closing thoughts, everyone.
I think Brian should give some closing thoughts because he has
Yeah.
like the least amount of.
Dialogue. Yeah, why don't you talk about what's going on
You're
with
a
season 2?
host. You're the
And
co-host.
what's
I
going
am the
on? What's going
co-host.
on in the future? Well, tell us about season 2 and when it's coming and
Yes.
Yeah,
Tell me
this-
about it.
what
Okay.
type of
Well,
content
okay.
we're going to be
So
making.
the schedule we're gonna make is so we really went into this like podcasting blind or what I did, and so I want to take a break, learn a lot of about video editing so I can make it more efficient. Because the way I was doing it before was just so inefficient to the point where making a new episode would just drain me out, and I just didn't want to do the podcast anymore. So now,
true.
we're gonna
That's
take a
smart.
break in episode 15. We're gonna call it the end of the winter season or whatever.
finale, whatever.
Yeah, the season finale of the winter. And then we're probably gonna start up maybe mid-spring. We'll
April.
have a date. We'll upload something to the YouTube.
Eventually.
Um,
I'm waiting
we're
for
gonna
that
announce some new stuff.
trailer.
We
Yeah.
have a lot of things planned
Maybe
that we really
reaction
want to do with
videos,
our
Minecraft
guests.
music videos. We're making the next muffin. Yeah, get ready.
Oh
Get
yeah.
ready, guys. But
because we really want to do stuff with our guests, more than just this podcast, because we are the B&B show. We're not
we're the B&B
B&B
show, yeah,
pod.
not the podcast. So I think we
Yeah.
could totally like branch off into other things.
Now, Balin, why are you holding a knife?
Yeah, it's kind of
I'm
weird,
not.
man. All right, well, thank you guys all for watching this season of the B&B show. Thank you to our viewers, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I like what you
As
did
soon
there.
as Soap did
I
that.
blocked them off.
Brian,
Hold
you
on,
should
let
have
me-
talked about your sock puppets.
Oh, dude, everything it was mostly religion, and I just didn't want to.
Talk about sock puppets.